Hey y'all, welcome to a special edition of Friday Flow, where we'll be flowing from the studio today. You'll want to have access to a mat and 2 blocks, and with that, we'll get started in a tall seat. Meet me in a hero's pose. You can sit on top of a block or on top of your heels. Let your hands rest in your lap and drop your gaze down to the floor in front of you. If you want to, you can close your eyes. Start to direct your breath a little bit more intentionally in, closing your mouth, and a little bit more intentionally out through the nose. Another breath in through the nose. And out the nose. Really nice. Your next breath in, you'll sweep your hands behind your head so that you've got your elbows wide out to the sides, and then flutter your eyes open. And we'll work on some breath work. It'll be an inhale through the nose and an exhale out the mouth, and it'll come with a big movement. So you'll inhale, turn to the right, and then exhale, spin to the left. Inhale, and then exhale. And just like that, we'll move our breath in and out. So finding the center, taking a really big breath in, exhale, spin to the left. In, right, exhale, left, in, out. Continue to pump your breath and twist from side to side, breathing in, breathing out, in, out, finding these twists through the body. And don't worry about what you look like. Your hair is fabulous. Keep twisting and breathing. Here for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Center, big inhale, sweep the arms up, hook your thumbs, reach your fingers wide, another sip. Keep your air in. Keep holding it in. You can do it. Release, hands in your lap. Shoulders soft, breathe in. Long breath out. Normal breath. Chin to your chest. Let your shoulders round a little forward. Spin your head in a circle. Doesn't matter which way, just go slow in one direction. Next time your chin is towards your chest, spin your head the other way. Land your head back through to the center. Interlace your hands in front of your face. Seal your palms together and push palm into palm to make figure eights with your wrists. You just spin your knuckles around. And go the other way. Stretch your palms up towards the ceiling. Keep your hands interlaced. Soft bend in the elbows. Lift your heart. If your shoulders are comfortable with it, you could straighten your arms. Keep your hands together and then sweep your arms out in line with your shoulders. Push the palms away and drop your head. You'll breathe in, arch, reach up. Breathe out, round and reach forward. One more like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Good. Release your hands down and find your way into a tabletop, hands and knees. Land your palms down and take big circles of your shoulders on your wrists. Just grab your fingertips into the ground. So really push through the fingers and try and hold the ground. And go the other way with your shoulders. Really nice. Find a neutral tabletop. Tuck your tail slightly, pull your low belly in, and then kick through the tops of your feet so firmly that you might hover your knees off of the ground. And I want you to just stay in this moment. Try to lift your heels so that they're on top of your feet so that you're not kind of sickling your ankles out to the side. Take another breath in. Good. Tap your knees down. You did great. If you need to take a moment to stretch out the backs of your ankles, you can tuck your toes and kind of shove your hips back towards your heels. Shift back forward onto hands and knees. Stretch your right arm out in front of you, thumb towards the ceiling. Pull your ribs in, tuck your tail, and low belly bowls in. Pulse your arm up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Sweep the arms straight back behind you, palm up towards the ceiling. You're going to pulse your palm up to the ceiling like you're giving the ceiling a high five. Pulse it up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach your right arm out into a T, stretch up to look up towards the arm, then weave the right arm underneath the left arm, thread the needle, drop your ear and shoulder to the ground, and take a few breaths as you shove the floor away. I like to take the left hand to the right wrist. Do what works for you. Left palm to the floor, find a tabletop, drop your belly, look up to the ceiling, breathe in. Round your spine, look into your navel. Good. Find a neutral spine. And then find your core engagement. Low belly in, push the floor away. Stretch your left arm out in front of you, thumb towards the ceiling. Keep knitting your ribs in and pulse your arm up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, shoulders forward. 3, 2, 1. Sweep the arm back behind you, palm towards the ceiling, pulse up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The left arm sweeps out into a T, look up to the arm, and then weave it underneath your right arm. A few breaths as you thread this needle. Maybe there's a feeling of stretch. Maybe it's just a feeling of twist. Take your right hand to the floor, push the floor away into a tabletop, then find your way into a downward facing dog. Kick your legs back, press your hips high up and back behind you, and a few breaths into the backs of your legs. You might bend one knee really deep and then the other, pedaling your hips, swaying them a little side to side. Really nice. Come back through to the center, soft bend in your knees, tilt your tail up to the ceiling, shove the floor away. Generous bend in both knees, look forward to your hands. You can take a walk or a hop, forward fold top of the mat. Soften the knees and drop down. Maybe swing your torso side to side. You might catch opposite elbows as you let the weight pour forward and down. Release your arms if they're connected. Roll yourself up to standing. Stretch your arms high, press your palms together overhead. Find a prayer at the center of your chest. Drag your thumbs down to your sternum. Take a breath in, lift your heart up towards your thumbs. Soften your knees and drop your tail as you breathe out. Inhale, stretch up to the ceiling, straighten the legs. Exhale, dive down into a forward fold. Plant your hands to the ground. Step your legs back into a plank pose. Downward facing dog, hips up. Kick your right leg up. Stack your hip open, bend and straighten your leg a couple times. You can keep the right leg bent open. Maybe soft bend in this bottom leg to let your hips stack. Good. Swing your right leg straight back as you breathe in. Lunge it through for a low lunge. Tap your back knee down to the floor. Hook your thumbs and reach your arms up and overhead. Take a look up towards your arms, maybe towards the ceiling. Stretch a little taller. Let your hips lunge a little deeper as you breathe out. And take another cycle like that. Think that you could pull some weight out of your legs with your arms reaching up, and then kick through your legs. Sweep the hands down to the ground and find a pyramid fold. You'll lift your back knee off of the floor, bounce your back foot in and drop your head low. I like to sway the hips, so if you want, you can find a little swing in the torso from side to side. Soft bend into your front knee, step forward, feet together to touch top of the mat. Roll yourself up to standing, stretch your arms overhead, press your palms together. Sit low into a chair and hook your left elbow outside of your right thigh. Find a twist. And when you get here, try not to get your head lower than your hips. And instead, you'll lower your hips and push palm into palm to lift your chest up. Take a breath here. Good. Stretch back up through the center. Straighten the legs. Reach the arms high. And forward fold. Dive all the way down. On your next breath in, halfway lift and lengthen your spine. Exhale to release your hands down to the floor. Plant your hands down, step your feet back, and either inhale, plank pose. Exhale to lower half or all the way. Inhale to back bend, either a baby cobra or an up dog. Downward facing dog, hips up and back. Left leg kicks high. Stack the hip open, bend and straighten your leg a couple times. Take a moment just to let your leg hang. Big breath in, stretch it back behind you. Exhale to lunge it through, low lunge. Drop your back knee down, sweep your arms forward and up. 2 big breaths. Get taller. Pull your front heel in a little bit to let your hips come forward. Inhale, lift the ribs. Exhale, stay. And release the hands down to the mat. Lift your back knee and bounce your back foot in a few inches to drop the heel. Pyramid fold, drop your head. A little bit of a movement might feel nice as you breathe. Soften into the front knee, step forward into a fold, top of the mat. Zip your legs together to touch and roll yourself up to standing. Reach your arms high overhead, press your palms together. Exhale, sit low into a chair and hook your right elbow outside of your left thigh. Line your knees up, push palm into palm, sit your hips lower and lean your shoulders to the right. Breathe in. Maybe look up as you breathe out. Rise up through the center, straighten the legs, straighten the arms overhead. On your exhale, you'll dive down into a fold, release all the way down. Take a halfway lift and lengthen your spine. Exhale, release. Hands down, step back. Plank pose in either a vinyasa. You'll meet me in a downward facing dog when you're ready. Couple breaths together. Good. Kick your right leg up. Lunge it through for a high crescent lunge. Soft bend in the back knee. Sweep the arms up and overhead. Hook your thumbs at the top. And then as you inhale, think that your heart slightly lifts forward. And then as you exhale, send your front knee a little bit more forward. Take another breath like that. Breathe in. Sit deeper into it. Breathe out. Really nice. All right, listen close. Sweep your hands down to frame your hips so your palms face forward. Bring your chest forward 45 degrees. Straighten your back leg. Stretch your left arm out in front of you and your right arm reaches straight back behind you. Bring your chest a little bit lower so that more weight's in your right leg. Take a breath in. Stay for your exhale. Good. Big helicopter of the arms. Left arm stretches up and all the way back behind you. Warrior 2. Ground your back heel. Stretch your right arm forward. Reverse triangle. Straighten the front leg. Tip back. Reach your right arm up. Maybe a little back. Find a supported side angle. Bend into the front knee. Bring your elbow to your thigh. Come all the way forward. If you'd like to start to reach farther down, your hand might come towards the inside of your leg. You might grab a block and plant your hand there. Look up towards the ceiling. Really nice. Take your hands down for a wide-legged fold. Spin your right toes towards the left and drop your head low between your legs. Tilt the weight forward towards the balls of the feet. If you're someone that likes to go upside down, you might float upside down here. Good. Slow roll all the way up to standing. We'll find neutral together. Sweep your arms up and overhead. Press your palms together. Exhale, find a prayer center of your chest. Really nice. Warrior 2 to the top of the mat. Spin the right toes, bend the right knee. Send your arms wide. Straighten through your right leg. Bump your right hip back in space for a triangle pose. Reach your hand down towards your shin. Look up towards your left wrist. You can either stay here or your left hand might weave towards your low back. Back of the hand presses into the low back as you look over the top shoulder. Maybe your hand weaves towards your inner thigh. Good. Soft bend in the front knee, hands down to the mat, step back, either a vinyasa or meet me in a dog. Find a few more breaths. Good. Left leg kicks high up and back behind you. Lunge it through for a high crescent lunge. Soft bend in the back knee. Rise up, sweep your arms high, hook your thumbs at the top. Sit a little bit deeper as you breathe out. Lean your shoulders back. Breathe in. Bend your front knee more and sit into it. Really nice. Legs stay the same. Hands come down, frame your hips. Palms face forward. Bring your chest forward 45 degrees. Straighten your back leg a little bit to pour the weight forward. Breathe in through your nose. Stay here for your exhale. Stretch your right arm out in front of you. So you've got those arms reaching in opposite directions, and notice that same polarity in the legs. So as the left knee reaches forward, the right heel reaches back. Big swing of your right arm all the way up and back. Warrior two. Stretch your left arm forward. Sit low. Bend into your front leg a little deeper. Good. Straighten your front leg, reverse triangle, tip back, left arm up. Stay for the exhale. Come forward into a supported side angle. Bend into your left knee. Drop your elbow down and look up. Maybe your hand comes down to the mat. Another cycle of breath to turn your chest up. Right, so you're trying to revolve through the ribs. Roll the right ribs back. Really nice. Wide-legged fold. Drop your hands down. Spin your left toes to the right and drop your head. Here we're going to take a few lunges from side to side. So you'll bend into the right knee, pivot your toes out to the side, sit low towards the right heel, and then go to the other side of the mat, sit low towards the left heel. Feel free to take your time lunging from side to side. Nice. As you come back through to the center, roll yourself all the way up to stand. Sweep your arms high, press your palms. Warrior two back to the top of the mat. Pivot the left toes, bend into the knee. Straighten your left leg, bump your hip back, reach forward and down. Look up towards the top arm, breathe in. Maybe a half bind as you breathe out. Keep sending your left hip back, roll the top shoulder behind you. Really nice. Hands down to the mat, soften into your left knee, step back into a dog or move through a vinyasa your way. Kick your right leg high up and back behind you. Exhale, knee towards your nose. And then cross your right ankle over your left thigh for a figure four downward facing dog. So your right ankle is crossed over your left thigh, you're bending into your left knee, and you're trying to push your bent leg away from you. Good, so this whole structure is gonna stay exactly the same. You're just gonna put it down on the floor. So bend your knee and place your right shin down and your back shin on the floor. Walk your hands in so that they're underneath your shoulders. Arch your spine, look up. Round your spine, look in. Take a big circle with your pelvis all the way around. And then go the other way with your hips. Really nice. Walk your hands one handprint forward, tuck your left toes, the whole structure is gonna lift up. Pick your knees off of the floor. Bring your right knee in towards your nose and step your foot forward between your hands. Soft bend in your back knee, bounce it forward so that left foot meets right foot. Rise up to stand. Stretch your arms up and overhead, breathe in. Hands come down to your hips, breathe out. Good, listen close. Weight goes into your left foot. Float your right knee up towards your chest. Cross your ankle over top your thigh. Sit your hips back and a little bit down, and then your right hand and left hand can come towards the top shin. You can let your shoulders shrug up by your ears as you shove the shin down. Really nice. Come up to stand, float your right knee towards your chest, find balance, look out in front of you. Something out in front of you that's still. Drop your right foot down, sweep your arms high, breathe in, forward fold, dive all the way down. Halfway lift and lengthen. Fold and release. Hands come down to the mat. You can either step it back, hop it back, move through a vinyasa, or meet me in a downward facing dog. Left leg sweeps with a breath in. Knee to your nose, cross your left ankle over top your right thigh, figure four downward facing dog. A little bit higher through the right heel, bend into the right knee so you can focus on belly coming back towards thighs. The whole structure comes down to the ground for a figure four tabletop. Walk your hands in a little bit and take some circles in your pelvis all the way around. Circle the hips the other way. Pause in the center. Drop your belly, lift your gaze, breathe in. Round your spine, breathe out. Good, neutralize the spine. Walk your hands slightly forward, lift the structure away from the floor. Figure 4 downward facing dog. Left knee to nose, step it through. Right foot meets left foot, forward fold. Rise up to stand, sweep the arms high, press the palms at the top. Hands to your hips, exhale. Weight goes into your right foot. Float your left knee up towards you and cross your left ankle over top your right thigh. Sit your hips back and a little bit down and walk your hands to your top shin and give it a little push. Keep sitting your hips back and down. Come up to stand, float your left knee towards you. Find balance. Drop the foot down, stretch your arms up, breathe in. Dive into a fold, breathe out. Halfway lift and lengthen, fold and release. Hands to the mat, step or hop, move through a vinyasa, or meet me in a dog. Good. Draw your knees down to the floor. We're going to take Cowface pose. So you'll walk your right knee in the center underneath your navel and thread your left knee behind it. So you've got your right knee in front and your left knee behind. And you'll either sit on the floor or grab a block and place it between your ankles to sit on top of it. I want you to ground your sit bones onto something. So if it's the floor, fabulous. If it's a block, also fabulous. Lift your chest up and think belly comes towards thighs first. And walk your torso down, any amount. So if your leg is a little bit higher, it's totally okay. You can still come forward and breathe. Good. We could spend like 20 minutes probably just in this shape. We don't have all of that time. So we'll just shift forward, come back to the shins, uncross them, and go to the other side. So start with the left knee in the center underneath your navel and thread your right knee behind it. Spread your feet really wide, right? So you've got this nice amount of space back behind you so that your bum can come between your legs. Then when you get there, you might start to think that your thighs could cross a little bit more. So if I look at my bottom knee, I could kind of bring it more in line with my belly button. Could kind of bring my top knee a little bit more in line with my belly button. Lift the chest and fold forward. Blocks underneath your hands might be a really helpful option. Lift your chest up. If you've got something underneath your hips, we'll come forward, ditch what's beneath you, put it off to the side, uncross your knees, swing your legs to the top of your mat. So I'd like you to have your 2 blocks set up like so, one on top of the other, and then you're gonna have them horizontally going underneath your low back. So just set them up like a sandwich, one piece of bread on top of the other piece of bread. They're both on the lowest setting for the blocks, yeah? Alrighty, lay on your back. Once you're on your back, you'll step your feet flat to the floor so that they're underneath your knees. And then I'm gonna pick my hips up and slide my block structure underneath them. So I'll press my hips up, and I promise you the blocks fit underneath you. You just gotta lift your hips a little higher and do a little shimmy shimmy to get it there. Haven't met anyone yet who can't put the blocks underneath them. And if you're the first person, then amazing, like use one block, that's fabulous. Just let your hips kind of open here. You can walk your feet a little longer. make sure that it feels okay in your back. If it doesn't, then I want you to negotiate with yourself and kind of figure out, oh, do I need to slide the blocks up higher, farther away? Ideally, it's right underneath your sacrum, which is just the boniest part of your low back. Nice. Walk your legs in, kick them up to the ceiling. We're going to take an eagle wrap. So you'll wrap your right leg over top your left leg and cross them. Bend your knees. So you're crossed at your thighs, just like we were in Cowface pose. And then you might try to weave your right leg behind your left calf and put your left foot on the floor. Another breath. Good. Send your legs up, unweave them. Wrap your left leg over top your right leg. Bend the knees, and maybe do the second wrap by hooking your left foot behind your right calf. Or you can just do a single wrap and plant your right foot down on the floor and breathe into whatever sensation is there. Good. Send your legs back up to the ceiling, unweave them, and plant your feet down onto the floor. You can stay here, find your way into a savasana, or if you want to find a nice little butterfly, you might bring the peaky side edges of your feet on the floor and just take a few moments. But feel free to end your practice how you need to, and I hope you have a lovely rest of whatever day it is for you. I'll see you soon. Thanks.